Saturday, Central Methodist Volleyball took care of the number 7 seed, William Penn, 25-23, 25-12, 25-19 as well. Also that Saturday, Mount Mercy upset the MidAmerica Nazarene, upset the number 3 seed, Mount Mercy, 25-16, 25-21, and 25-21 as well. That was down in Topeka. The winner of this will play in the championship game on Saturday. That will be the number 4 seed Benedictine. Of course, they took care of Grandview in 4 sets. And the top seed, Park University, who swept Missouri Valley on Saturday. If Park wins, they'll go there Saturday afternoon. Otherwise, if Benedictine wins and Central Methodist wins, Central will host the championship game Saturday to be determined, depending on, of course, you have women's soccer, who's playing their semifinal game tomorrow night against Benedictine. That's at 6 o'clock. There's a good chance that we may have a championship game be played at Central Methodist by both the women's soccer and, of course, the men and, of course, the volleyball squad. Now, the last time we have seen that happen before, I think it was in 2019. And that was at the time, and I remember this in 2019, the women's soccer hosted Benedictine in the championship game on the same day when men's soccer played Grandview. And then that same time, the volleyball team played at Grandview on a Saturday afternoon. I remember President Drake, and I remember I was at both the soccer games, and President Drake was giving me score updates on the telephone. I think had his iPhone and all that good stuff. So everything should be going to go. Oh yeah. So we should be good to. So we could see it happening, but we'll probably know more hopefully by tomorrow night. Anything could happen going into this one, but we'll keep you up to date on the Park and Benedictine matchup there. Of course, they'll be starting in about 12 minutes or so. So I'll give you the updates throughout tonight's game until the end. So, also at the same time, the Central Methodist men, they're 3-0 on the year. They, of course, took care of William Woods, and it was a fun ball game, 87-81. They'll be playing Columbia College Friday night at 7 o'clock. Pregame show at 6:45 p.m. as well. So, and then women's basketball is playing at Haskell. That starts 22-20. Second quarter, about 5 minutes to go. So we should be. So everything should be all set, and we're ready for some volleyball tonight. There as well. Quentin Norris sitting in the catbird seat. So in about a few minutes, we'll have a break, and then we'll continue our pregame show on the Hart Conference Network. I can believe you always. I say you can. I've known Marvin. Mary. Oh, I know. I remember the first time I was getting to the band room, and it was Paul. And the first time I knew it was when Paul Valencourt, Mr. Valencourt. You say, Paul, that was my principal. We're back here at Central Methodist University. Puckett Fieldhouse, MidAmerica Conference semifinal game there tonight between Central Methodist and, of course, MidAmerica Nazarene. There you see the Central Methodist team comes out onto the court there. They'll be warming up there in about the next 2 minutes or so. Central Methodist 21-9. They're ranked number 21 in the polls. Of course, the polls will come out tomorrow. And then you got MidAmerica Nazarene, the number 6 seed. As well, of course, you got MidAmerica Conference Soccer. I think tonight, Missouri Valley, the number 1 seed on the men's side there. I believe they're playing Benedictine down at Greg Mitchell Field there as well. On the other side of the bracket, you got the 3 seed, I think, MidAmerica Nazarene. They play this afternoon against the 7th seeded William Penn. Mount Mercy, I do believe. Of course, they upset William Penn on that Friday night down in Oskaloosa. So I know my friend Chad Jenkins, I think he was at that soccer game, and I'm sure he'll be listening in to the broadcast tonight from Olathe, Kansas. So we're there as well. Nice crowd on this Wednesday night. And, of course, the other women's soccer we talked about tomorrow, the women's soccer semifinals. Benedictine takes on Central Methodist at 6 p.m. At 7 o'clock that night, Missouri Valley, the number 2 seed. They'll be taking on 3 seed MidAmerica Nazarene down at Great Mitchell Field there as well. So that should be a lot of fun there. Central Methodist getting ready to take the court for the final warm-up there. So it should be a lot of fun tonight. Wetton Norris singing in the catbird seat. They caught. And like I said, we'll keep you up to date on the other matchups there. Of course, you got Central Methodist and Haskell and women's basketball. Central Methodist trying to go for win number 1. Of course, they lost to Stevens on November the 1st. 77-69 here in Fayette. Their next home game won't be until November 25th. They take on Baker University. After that, women's basketball, they'll head to Sterling, Kansas, to take on Sterling at 2. Then they begin conference play, taking on Clark in a conference tournament rematch. And, of course, Clark is the defending NAIA champion. And then on the 21st, the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, they will be taking on Culver Stockton down in Canton, Missouri. So we're about ready to get started. Crowd's starting to file in. Should be a great night. I think temperatures were about in the low 70s when I arrived in Fayette tonight around the 5:30 hour. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and get an update there. I know volleyball should be getting started in about 5 minutes or so. That's Lisa Smith. That's her, of course, that's Alyssa Smith's mother getting ready to come on in. That's Delaney Smith's family from Buffalo, Missouri, all getting ready to check on in there. And sometimes during the times I have broadcast, there's time or two I've been known to have an IQ that reminds me of the great Gene Wood. So we're about ready to get started. I know Benedictine and Park going at it. Let me see here. I believe it's heading toward halftime down in Lawrence, Kansas, and hallelujah. Central Methodist is leading Haskell 39-31. They've outscored Haskell 24-16 in that second period. Let's see if there's some line numbers there, stat number. Satori Cook leading the way with 11 points there as well. It was originally a 7, but I think they decided to move it to a 6 o'clock game. Let me see, volleyball. So we're about ready to get started. Park is 28-2 on the year. Park's 28-2, and they'll be getting started in about 2 minutes and about 30 seconds or so. And I think Park is ranked number 5 in the nation. Most likely they'll host the first round game. So we should be ready to go as the crowd's starting to file in. We're just about 30 seconds away there. And that's, of course, one of my old friends who I've known for over 30 years. That's Bill and Wendy Sheehan. Of course, Wendy Sheehan used to be the volleyball coach back in the early 90s. I remember during my time at Central Methodist. And one thing, wonderful person there, of course, Bill Sheehan used to be the dean of students during my time there as well. And one of my favorite memories, Wendy Sheehan was the one, along with an assistant coach they had named Becky Valdez, were the ones that gave me the opportunity to be the PA announcer for a few of the Central Methodist volleyball matches my junior year at Central Methodist. So we're about ready to get started. Well, looks like we'll have the prayer, national anthem, starting lineups. Maybe we can have that for one of our games for our home matches. Have the famous birds on the bats. Now the umpires, the officiating crew trying to check everything over. Making sure we got everything all situated. There's Crystal Bronner checking in there. You got Drew Gale, that's Annabelle Mawson, Morgan LeBlanc, Cindy Healy, and Alyssa Smith. All checking in the lamps. There you look at MidAmerica Nazarene. Looks like Cassidy Christ, Ashlyn Holliford, and now serving Alex Cummins from Olathe, Kansas, which is where MidAmerica Nazarene is located. And we're underway to Crystal Bronner. Gale. Here's Cindy Healy, one of 10 seniors being recognized just a week ago against Baker. Blocked, and a point for Central Methodist. 4 hits is the call. 4 hits is the call. 1-0. That's Riley McBurney from Blue Springs. Came from William Woods. Another line drive serve. And that is out of bounds, and a quick 2-0 lead for Central Methodist. Of course, if they win, they'll get an automatic bid to the national tournament. And there's a good possibility we may get to host the opening round of the tournament on November 18th. Selection show on November 13th. A point for MidAmerica Nazarene. So 2-1's our score. So now in the serve there. Another line drive to Henson. McBurney. Callie Henson. Back goes MidAmerica. Off the fingertips of Crystal Bronner, and a tie game at 2. With Julian Witt to serve from Boise, Idaho. 2-2, set number 1. Bronner. Here's LeBlanc. Henson to McBurney. Oh, there's a beautiful one. Callie Henson makes it 3-2. 3-2 now. Joanna Milo checks in. That's Crystal Bronner. What an amazing career she has had during her time at Central Methodist from Elias High School. Smith to McBurney. Looked like they were set up a pass, but she found an open spot and says, I'll just take it there. 4-2 now. Four to 2 now. Bronner. Another line drive. Here comes Mawson, McBurney, and that's Annabelle Mawson putting it down in the corner, making it 5-2. 5-2, Central Methodist. Bronner still serving. Smith to McBurney. Milo, McBurney, Bronner, Mawson, beautiful, Annabelle Mawson, 1 of the 10. Every time I saw that team, they remind me of those Cincinnati Reds teams, and they remind me of the Big Red Machine. Block. Mawson to McBurney. Joanna Milo. And a point makes it 7-2. Coleman Lee giving out instruction. A quick 7-2 lead. Nice tip shot, Milo to McBurney. Oh, there's Callie hits it, puts it down the right field line. 8-2. And a quick timeout there. MidAmerica Nazarene here in the first set on the Hart Conference Network. Central Methodist 8, MidAmerica 2. What's up, Oz? Uh-oh. How do you what's wrong? Or, you know what it is? Or it's, what's Rolaids? Rolaids. Hey, your stomach cramp. You know what Rolaids? Like, I have never. Oh yeah. You know, it's a. Hey, listen. 8-2 now in the first set. Good start for Central Methodist on a 6-0 run now. That's into the net, and it's 8-3. That's Michaela Johnson from Jonesboro, Arkansas. With a nice jump serve to Smith. McBurney, a nice tip shot. Here comes MidAmerica Nazarene. Block. And it's a shot into the corner there to make it 8-4. Michaela Johnson. Nice serve to Milo McBurney. Henson, beautiful. 9-4 now. It is 9-4. Delaney Miller checks in. And now Annabelle Mawson from Jefferson City, also home of sports director Rod Smith. 9-4 now. And a point for MidAmerica Nazarene makes it 9-5. Even though I was hoping maybe Joanna Mila would do the rainbow leap. And it's 9-5, set number 1. Bronner to McBurney, sets it up, and a point. I think that's Delaney. I think Milo gets credit with the kill. 10-5 now. And Drew Gale in the serve. Got to meet her mom, Shelly. And also, one of my new friends, I got to meet her high school coach, Megan, from Annapolis, Missouri. Of course, her high school team finished second in the state this past weekend in Cape Girardeau. Gale, Cindy Healy, Bronner, Gale, Milo. Milo stays with it to Gale. Here's Delaney Miller. Here comes Milo, Gale, Healy with a tip shot. Makes it 11-5. So Gale in to serve. Boy, she has really came on strong in the last few weeks of the regular season. Gale to Milo. Milo to back to Healy. And let's see what happened. Block. Miller, Gale, Milo. Block again. I believe that'll be 4 hits. Double hit call. 12-5 Central Methodist. 12-5 Gale serving. Back goes MidAmerica Nazarene. Here's Healy. A block by Delaney Miller. 13-5. Gale. Blocked. Miller. Cross-court shot is good, so it's 13-6. So 13-6 now, and Savannah Crossland from Olathe, Kansas. Where's number 5? Like a great number 5, Johnny Bench from the Cincinnati Reds. Gale, Miller, beautiful, Delaney Miller. 14-6. That's Jessica Mowry. And the serve, senior from Arnold. Where's number 15? I want to say hi to her mom. I think Julianne was listening in Arnold, Missouri. So want to say hi to you? I believe that'll be 4 hits is the call. It is 15-6. Jessica Mowry is the number 15, like a number famous 15. The great Tim McCarver used to wear that when he was with the Cardinals back in the 60s. And that's an ace. And another timeout has been called. Central Methodist 16, MidAmerica 6 on the Hart Conference Network. Perfect. Okay. Let's see how that game is coming. Set number 1, 16-6. Quentin Norris sitting in the catbird seat. Central Methodist, third quarter, women's basketball has a 60-39 lead, 3:21 to go in the third quarter on a 21-8 run during that third quarter. Zatoria Cook still leading away with 13. Haley Burfield with 12. Beyonce Carter has 12. Now check on the Park game. Jessica Mowry serving. Healy says thank you very much. On the free ball, makes it 17-6. As it's like the old Dennis Eckersley throwing the pitch to Kurt Gibson. I threw a pitch and he walked it off. Into the net, makes it 18-6. Mallory still serving. Mallory, that's out of bounds, so it's now 18-7. 18-7. Looks like it's set one. Park leads Benedictine 18-9. And a point for MidAmerica. Nazarene makes it 18-8 now. Ashlyn Halford from Jacksonville, Florida, home of the Jacksonville Jaguar. And, of course, the annual football game, the Gator Bowl Classic. Gale. Here is. And a point for Central Methodist on a 4-hit call. 19-8, Central Methodist. Alyssa Smith, the Ranger, will serve. Reason for it is because it's honor of Ranger Smith from the Yogi Bear cartoon, along with Pal Boo Boo. 19-8 on a free ball block, but here comes Healy. Oh, the old backhanded. The old backhanded kill there. Makes it 20-8. Central Methodist 5 points away. Alyssa Smith with the left-handed serve there. And a point there, 21-8. 21-8 as the Ranger with the floater. And I believe that's a double hit call, makes it 22-8. 22-8 now, set number one. Kelsey Walker from New Zealand. Boy, she has really gotten better every single game she has played. What's that? Ranger with an ace. I wonder if Yogi Bear gave her some advice. Danica White from New Athens, Illinois. Around the St. Louis area, and of course near Alton, the most famous celebrity from that area, the great Delane Statch. Out of bounds, and it's now set point for Central Methodist. So everyone get those hands clapping there as the Ranger will serve for the first set. The Ranger. There with the floater. There's Gale. Danica White. Back goes MidAmerica Nazarene. And that's a point. And a victory for Central Methodist. They win the first one 25-8. They will take a 1-0 lead here in set number two on the Hart Conference Network. We'll do it all in 2 minutes, 2 seconds. Who in the world is the Ranger? Like there's I can name a cartoon. I grew up one. He calls people Ranger. The Ranger. Hey, look, it's the Ranger. No, I call it Ranger. Like, you never seen the Ranger? There's a guy named Ranger Smith. He owns Jellystone. And the trick is, Yogi likes to steal picnic baskets. They even had the one where they had little red. Hey, how about that? Okay. Let's see how that game is coming along there. We're back here at Central Methodist University Puckett Fieldhouse. Central Methodist won the first one, 25-8. Leading the match 1-0. Of course, women's basketball there. Leading Haskell with 1:45 to go, 63-42. It just been. I'll give you the update on the Park and Benedictine. It looks like Park is up 21-14 here in set number 1 there down in Parkville, Missouri. You ever heard of that Rangers? I never heard of Rangers. We're about ready to get set number 2 going. Quentin Norsing in the catbird seat. I believe that is Riley McBurney will serve. We'll have set number 2 going. But who knows? McBurney with the serve. Here comes MidAmerica. Block. Block. And a point for Central Methodist. 1-0. They have led the entire match so far. The largest lead they've had was 17. McBurney. Here comes MidAmerica. McBurney. Bronner. LeBlanc out of bounds. Tie the match at 1. We have had the second tie. The other one was 2-2 in the first set. 4, 5, 6. And that ended a 8-0 run if you count the last 7 from set number 1. Serve there to Henson. McBurney. McBurney, there's Callie going to her right hand there. Smith, McBurney find that open spot, and there's a 2-1 lead. All right, Joanna Milo, Crystal Bronner. Bronner. Callie Henson. Down the line, the tie game of 2. Michaela Johnson from Jonesboro, Arkansas. Bronner. Out of bounds, and for the first time tonight, MidAmerica Nazarene has the lead at 3-2. Smith, McBurney, here's Milo, and it's out of bounds, and a tie game at 3. 3-3 tie. Delaney Miller, and that's Annabelle Mawson. Tip shot and a point for MidAmerica Nazarene, 4-3 now. Got Charlie Turner. Katrina Davis in the serve from Leawood, Kansas. McBurney, Miller ties the match at 4. 4-4 tie. Cindy Healy and Drew Gale. And Drew Gale will serve. Like I said, I say her mom, Shelly. Her high school coach, Megan, from Annapolis, Missouri. As her South Iron team took second in the state in Class 1 this past weekend down in Cape Girardeau. And a point for MidAmerica Nazarene. Makes it 5-4. Looks like Savannah Crossland in the serve. Five for MidAmerica Nazarene, but remember, Central Memphis won the first set, 25-8. Milo, Gale, Healy. Mawson, Healy tie the game at 5. Morgan LeBlanc, Jessica Mowry checks in. Number 15 in the serve, just like another famous 15, George Foster, who played left field for the Cincinnati Reds back in 1975. And a point for MidAmerica Nazarene, makes it 6-5. Ashlyn Halford, Luana Milo, and Crystal Bronner. Gale, LeBlanc. And for the first time, MidAmerica has a 2-point lead at 7-5. Holman Lee cheering his team on. Seven to 5, LeBlanc to Gale. Delaney Miller. Bronner. Nice two-handed set play. Here comes MidAmerica Nazarene. Gale. LeBlanc. Gets it over. Gale. Healy puts it over. Cindy Healy. 7-6 now. There's Alyssa Smith from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. If you go down south, it's Bangor, Oklahoma, home of Johnny Bench. And they do have a museum. And they even have a high school field named after Johnny Bench. 8-6 now. Alex Cummings from Olathe, Kansas. That's where MidAmerica Nazarene is located. LeBlanc, Gale. LeBlanc, that's blocked, and a 9-6 lead. Looks like Danica White will check in. Nine to 6. White. Gale. Nice. Nice! I believe that's Annabelle Mawson getting the point there. Makes it 9 to 7. So now Riley McBurney in the serve. Came from William Woods. Nine, 7. And a point makes it 10-7. Now timeout. Timeout call here in the second set. MidAmerica Nazarene 10, Central Methodist 7 on the Hart Conference Network. That's 10-7, second set. MidAmerica is on top, but remember Central Methodist won the first set, 25-8. Quentin Norris here, as Vin Scully would say, hey, let's pull up a chair in and just watch the action on the Hart Conference Network. Rihanna Moylan from Shawnee, Kansas. Henson, McBurney, a little collision, but Alyssa Smith recovers it. Back out to MidAmerica Nazarene. Blocked and a point, makes it 10-8. And Joanna Milo checks in. Crystal Bronner in the serve. Bronner, floater, back goes MidAmerica Nazarene. Smith, McBurney, here's Milo, couldn't get it over, but a point makes it 11-8. Michaela Johnson will serve. Smith, McBurney, Milo, back goes Mawson, Milo, beautiful shot. It's 11-9 now. Hey, I was wondering if you. – 11-9. Annabelle Mawson. Mawson. Back goes MidAmerica. Let's see what they do here. At a point makes it 12-9. Katrina Davis in the serve. McBurney. Oh, nice job by Joanna Milo. Makes it 12-10. 12-10 now in the second set. Sydney Healy, Drew Gale will serve. Drew Gale will serve. Let's see if we get a run going for Central Methodist. Bronner, 4 hits is the call. Actually, a net call makes it 13-10. Looks like Savannah Crossland will serve. 13-10. Gale. Delaney Miller. Blocked by Sydney Healy, makes it 13-11. 13-11 now. That's Jessica Mowry and Danica White check in. Like I said, same area where the great Dwayne Stats, voice of the Tampa Bay Rays, but he used to do Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN television. Just grazes the net. And a block by Healy, 13-12. Best thing I remember about Dwayne Stats, he would sub in for Harry Carey. Mowry in the serve. Back goes MidAmerica Nazarene. Blocked. Mowry, Gale, Danica White. Oh, and it's out of bounds, 14-12. I thought he had it, but it went out. Crystal Bronner checks in there. Ashlyn Hawford from Jacksonville, Florida. One time back in the 80s, there was a USFL team called the Jacksonville Bulls. Gale, and a point makes it 15-12. I remember one of the time we used to watch, and it was involved in Jacksonville. I want to say playing Orlando. One time it was on a Saturday at my great aunt's house in Lexington, Missouri. White to Gale. Healy puts it over, makes it 15-13. Alyssa Smith checks in. The Ranger will serve. See Coleman Lee giving out instruction, I believe, to Delaney Miller. Garrett Case. Back goes MidAmerica. And a point for MidAmerica makes it 16-13. 16-13. White, Gale. Nice shot by Sydney Healy, 16-14. That's Riley McBurney. There he's. McBurney in the serve. Nice job there, but MidAmerica stays with it. Out of bounds. Point Central Methodist, 16-15. Riley McBurney. Last time Central Methodist led, I believe, it was 2-1 in the second set. Oh, nice job. But here comes MidAmerica. Bronner, McBurney, White. America has it. And a point now makes it 17-15. Brianna Boylan will serve. Moylan serves. Henson. McBurney. Here's a left-handed shot by Callie Henson. 17-16 now. Let's see if we get a run going there. Luana Milo. Crystal Bronner. 17-16. Back goes Henson. Mawson. Back goes MidAmerica Nazarene. Bronner. McBurney. Nice job. Oh, a point for 4 hits is a call. Makes it 18-16. Kayla Johnson. Into the net. Makes it 18-17. It's a service error. Annabelle Mawson. Back. Oh, nice free ball. Oh, Delaney Miller ties it. 18 on the last tie. First tie since it was 5-5. Set 2. Timeout, MidAmerica Nazarene. Here at set 2. We are tied at 18. Two. Well, in the fourth quarter, Central Methodist leads Haskell 84-61. Looks like we'll have win number 1. Look at they did in the third quarter. Outscored Haskell 32-14. Of course, yesterday was, they announced all the Hall of Famers. And one of those is a good friend who I've known for I would say almost 35 years. Name of Lucas Mannering. Of course, I knew him from Slater, Missouri. It's Annabelle Mawson. Bronner to McBurney. Mawson, McBurney, Milo. Oh, beautiful. And for the first time since it was 2-1, Central Methodist leads at 19-18. Of course, his dad was Marvin, who I've known for several years, 38 years. Along with his mom, Marianne. Of course, Marvin was my high school band teacher at Slater until 1993. Of course, spent 29 years at Stockton. And, of course, Lucas is going to the Hall of Fame. Of course, ran track during his time there as well. $19-all. McBurney, here's Milo. Nice drop shot, makes it 20-9. Bronner. Here's Delaney Miller. Out of bounds, and a tie game at 20-20. Also, update there. Park leads Benedictine 17-12 in the second set. Park won the first set, 25-18. I want to thank our statisticians keeping us up to date here at Park University. 20-20. Gale, Milo, It's tipped, and 21-18 lead, 21-20, Central Methodist. So Marvin and Marianne, if you're listening in, I want to say congratulations to Lucas. Well, he tells. (21-20) Central Methodist set number 2. Won the first set 25-8. Of course, Saturday Central Methodist football closes out their regular season on the road to St. Louis, taking on Missouri Baptist. Kickoff at 1 o'clock. Central Methodist trying to go for win number 2 on the year. Mawson, Gale, Healy, block, tie game at 21. All. Back goes Gale. Healy floater, beautiful. 22-21. You have to win by 2. Danica White, Jessica Mowry. Mowry serving. Back goes MidAmerica Nazarene, tying the match at 22. Ashlyn Halford. Now the coach wants an explanation. Joanna Milo and Crystal Bonner. Ashlyn Halford. Mawson to Gale. Healy gives Central Methodist a 23-22 lead. They're 2 points away from going up 2-0 in the match. Here's the Ranger, Alyssa Smith. You know what, all the time. Smith, that goes. Tying the match at 23. Alex Cummins in the serve. This is a crucial point. Whoever gets that one is in a good position to win the set. White, Gale, Healy. Back goes MidAmerica Nazarene. Block. I believe that's 4 hits. A lift is the call, and now it's set point Central Methodist. And now Riley McBurney in the serve. McBurney, back goes MidAmerica. Bronner, good dig out there. Here comes Bronner, McBurney, left-handed shot. Callie Henson puts it down. Central has won it. They're up 2-0. They have won the second one. They're up 2-0. We'll have set 3 for you in 2 minutes and 2 seconds. I bet you always like it when I call number 6 Ranger. Well, you know where that came from? You ever remember watching a cartoon called Yogi Bear? You ever remember there's a Ranger Smith, and he hangs out with Boo Boo at Jellystone? It's a funny cartoon. One of my favorite ones is when they had Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs. You ever seen that one? It's like they hibernate and there's Snow White knocks on the door and Yogi shuts the door on Snow White because he wants to sleep. I know. Yogi, he made me down. Or one time he wanted to, and he volleyball. I don't know, one thing. There was a guy, his name was Johnny Olson. I still like when you mentioned about your, yeah. Well, his son, well, I've known him. See, he was my high school band teacher. I didn't know. Oh, yeah, and I knew that. I've known his band teacher. And you say win number 1. Yuki. You ever heard of one? They said, hey, look. I never met a guy named Yogi. Now, Yogi, he wanted to play with the dog. Let's see. I want to make sure it's the final. Hey. Back here at Central Methodist University, Central Methodist leads the match 2-0 after a 25-23 victory. Win number 1 for our Central Methodist women's basketball team. Of course, my good friend Bill Sheehan came over to say hi there as well. 89-63 victory. They're 1-0. They're 1-1 on the year. They'll play at Sterling on Saturday at 2 p.m. We're about ready to get set 3 going. Remember, Park won the first one 25-18. And now leading 23-20 in the set. They're also in the second set there. Katrina Davis there to serve. He was a new Davis. Back goes Gale. Healy. Back. And it's a point for MidAmerica Nazarene. MidAmerica led most of the way, but Central Methodist turned it on there. And their first time they led, I think it was 19-18. Out of bounds, tying the match at 1. Oh, yeah. Was that? One of the greatest. 1-1 tie. 2. Back goes. Line drive. Back goes MidAmerica. Out of bounds points. Central Method. Yeah, that's good. I understand, of course, you're. I'm trying to visit. I'm trying to figure. McBurney. Back goes to intercept play. Bronner, Henson. McBurney. Danica White. Back goes Smith. Oh, here's Alyssa Smith. Left-handed shot. Bronner. Danica White. White. McBurney. Here's that's Henson. Back goes. Left-handed shot. Tying the match at 2-2. Hey, how's it going? Well, hey, I was going to let you know. I understand your working. Two tie now. Bronner, McBurney, Henson. Point Central Methodist, 3-2 now. Hey, I just didn't have I was trying to remember Crystal Bronner. Which one is Reese? I'm trying to remember. Bronner. Oh, I forgot about. Of course, and then one of them. And then one of the best friend saying was 4-3, 4-2 now. Four to 2 now. Oh yeah, I forgot about it. McBurney. Callie Henson makes it 4-3. Okay, yeah. Delaney Miller. 31, 45. I got oopsie. Annabelle Mawson serving. Back goes, and a double hit call makes it 5-3. MidAmerica needs to win one to stay alive. Oh, that right. 16. McBurney, Henson. Bronner, McBurney, and a point from MidAmerica Nazarene makes it 6-3. $40. $50. 6-3, MidAmerica Nazarene. Bronner, a little miscommunication with her and Annabelle Mawson, and it's 7-3. I believe that is the largest lead they had the entire match. Jessica Mowry. Mowry to McBurney. Nice hustle there by Milo. And it's 8-3 now. Timeout, Central Methodist. Third set here on the Heart Conference Network. MidAmerica Nazarene 8, Central Methodist 3. 8-3 MidAmerica Nazarene. Set number 3. Quentin Norris sitting in the catbird seat. For Central Methodist Women's Soccer takes on Benedictine. 6 o'clock there. Pre-game show 5:45 p.m. on Eagles.com and the Hart Conference Network. Mowry to McBurney. And Callie Henson makes it 8-4. Cindy Healy checks in. Drew Gale will serve. Gale. Line drive serve. Here comes Gale. And that's Cindy Healy. Makes it 8-5. 8-5 now. Drew Gale in the serve. Gale serving. Back goes MidAmerica. Nearly blocked. Healy stays with it. Nice job there by Miller. Healy. Out of bounds and point to Central Methodist. It's 8-6. It's always fun. 8-6 now. Blocked into the net. 8-7 now. Hey, I was going to tell you, all right. I got you. 8-7 now. 8-7 now. Mowry to Gale. Oh, nice job. Oh, it's out of bounds. 9-7. A little past 8 o'clock on this Tuesday, November 7th. Savannah Crossland in the serve. Mowry to Gale. Healy. Little miscommunication, and it's 9-8. Addison Butler in the serve. From Wentzville, Missouri. Of course, went to Wentzville Holt. Of course, one of my first times ever Wentzville. I remember coming time going with the women's basketball team. Tying the match. We were coming back from Missouri Baptist, and we stopped at a McDonald's there. 9-9 time. Garrett Case giving out instructions. So 9-9. Butler serving. Of course, her mom's Susan. And a 10-9 lead. And I think if Drew Gale hadn't touched it, it would have been a point for Central Methodist. But instead, it's a 10-9 lead for MidAmerica Nazarene. Excellent Hofford. Hofford to Danica White to Healy. Here's White into the net, and MidAmerica leads it 11-9. They need to win to stay alive. Central Methodist needs to win one more to go to the championship game and the automatic bid to the national tournament. Gale. Oh, nice job, Delaney Miller. 11-10. Losing her high jumping skills there. Would it be something we see her in the Olympics? Hopefully in 2028 in Los Angeles. I'm sure the city of Buffalo will enjoy it. As Alyssa Smith will serve the Ranger. Gale. Smith going left-handed. Back goes MidAmerica Nazarene. Gale. Haley. Oh, nice shot by Mawson, but here comes MidAmerica. Smith. Gale. Healy. Nice hustle to Bronner. Danica White. Out of bounds, tied the match at 11. 11-11 now, set number 3. Central Methodist won the first one, 25-8, 25-23. And no, that's Alyssa Smith. Nice serve there. Out of bounds, and Central Methodist leads it for the first time since it was 2-1 in the third set. 12-11 now. Nice floater. Back goes. Oh, nice. Oh, out of bounds. I thought she had it, but we're tied at 12. Central Methodist's largest lead they had was 17. Gale. Double hit call makes it 13-12. Thirteen 12. Gale. Bronner. Gale. Nice shot with Danica White. Smith. Gale. And a point for MidAmerica Nazarene now leads at 14-12. 14-12 set number 3. Central Methodist leads the match 2-0. Morgan LeBlanc checks in. LeBlanc checks in. Nineteen. 14-12. Gale. Haley blocked. Haley. Bronner. Oh, blocked by Annabelle Mawson. Makes it 14-13. Callie Henson. Riley McBurney in the serve. Into the net, 15-13. Of course, they are the MidAmerica Nazarene, the tournament champion. Defeated Park in the championship round last year in Olathe. Out of bounds, 15-14. Joanna Milo. Crystal Bronner in the serve. Back goes MidAmerica. It's blocked and a tie game at 15. 15 all. 15 all. Let's see what. It hits the antenna again. Central Methodist leads at 16-15. Timeout, MidAmerica Nazarene. The third set on the Heart Conference Network. Central Methodist 16, MidAmerica 15. Central Methodist leads at 16-15. Third set, they lead in the match 2-0. They won the first set 25-8, 25-23. Of course, tomorrow night, women's soccer takes on Benedictine. Pre-game show at 5:45 p.m. Bronner. Back goes MidAmerica. Blocked by Callie Henson. 17-15. I have a feeling we may see either of those players go to the Hall of Fame at Central Methodist. Bronner to serve. 18-15 out of bounds. 18-15 now. Third set. Oh, a 3-0 run now. Bronner. McBurney out of bounds, so it's now 18-16. Well, we just received confirmation Park won the second set 25-21, and they're leading 18-6 in set number 3. And if everything holds true, I think Central Methodist will play at Park for the championship game on Saturday. Probably maybe a 1 o'clock start there as well. But you can get more information on the Heart America Conference Network or the HeartAmericaConference.com with more updates. Or we'll know more tomorrow night at the women's soccer game. And a point for Central Methodist. Makes it 19-17. Annabelle Mawson. 19-17. Annabelle Mawson. They're 6 points away from the championship, most likely against Park in Parkville. Bronner, McBurney, Miller. Back into the net, and it's 20-17. 20-17 now. They're 5 points away. Great crowd on over 30,000. Millions are watching on television across the world. Or as Jim McKay was saying, we're spanning the globe across the world. 20-18 now. Mallory checks in. There is Lucy Makova from the Czech Republic. First time I learned that one was from Jim McKay on ABC's Wide World of Sports. Out of bounds. Now it's 20-19. And I think one of the first sports they ever broadcast in the Czech Republic was barrel jumping. (20-19), Mowry to McBurney. Henson puts it down, 21-19. Cindy Healy. That's Drew Gale checking in. Gale. That's an ace, 22-19. I know her high school coach, Megan, is quite pleased, along with her mom, Shelley. A timeout called for in the third set on the Conference Network. Central Methodist 22, MidAmerica Nazarene 19. She's knocking she's (22-19), 3 points away. How is that you? One more clear. Gale. That goes MidAmerica. Bronner. Gale. Milo. Gale. Milo. That goes MidAmerica. Tip shot. Here comes MidAmerica and a point. Now it's 22-20 now. Savannah Crossland in the serve. Line drive to Milo. Gale. Nice job there. Back goes MidAmerica. Block. Left-handed shot is good. Now it's 22-21 now. MidAmerica Nazarene needs to win this to stay alive. That's Riley McBurney. Crossland in the serve. Mowry, McBurney. Out of bounds, tied at 22. (22-22). Coleman Lee cheering his team on. McBurney. And a point from MidAmerica Nazarene, 23-22. Cindy Healy checks in along with Drew Gale. (23-22). Gale, Healy, blocked by Delaney Miller. We are tied at 23. 23-23 as Morgan LeBlanc and Addison Butler checks in. 23-23. This is like the second set. Butler to Gale. Nice tip shot. And Delaney Miller. Now it's match point. One more point to go. 24-23. Ladies and gentlemen, Central Methodist has done it. They're on to the championship match. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. Tonight is worth 1,000,000 words. As Central Methodist has head to the conference championship with a 3-game sweep there. Central Methodist won the first one, 25-8, 25-23, 25-23. They are 22, and that MidAmerica Nazarene is 15. MidAmerica finishes the year 15-13. Most likely they'll head to Parkville on Saturday. But we know we'll have women's soccer tomorrow night pregame show at 5:45 p.m. on CMUEagles.com and the Hart Conference Network. This is Quentin Norris saying so long. That's 6,935 of them. Good night, everybody.